We just went through all of our color harmonies. We walked through a couple examples for each individual color harmony that you saw. And now I just want to present you guys with a couple images and let you sit with them for a bit and sort of see if you can decipher the color harmonies for yourself. So starting with this one, this is a shot that I took around dusk with all the lights on inside. And I was kind of going through a Mad Men phase here. Really loved this kind of sad, beautiful woman and this guy walking out in the distance here. So as far as our color scheme goes, I sort of identify this as a primary RYB color scheme here. Got the blues in the sky and in the shadows. The house is actually brown, but it's got some bluish hints to it because of the overall color cast in the sky. Obviously, we've got the yellows in the windows, and red is the big accent color here. I wanted that red to be up front and center for a really dramatic effect. And you'll see too, there are some other little accent colors. There's a little bit of green, but to me, the overall color harmony is this red, yellow, blue. All right, here we've got another image. And I have a couple alcohol clients, and so I wanted to do a little bit of a test shoot here for that kind of moody, sultry girl drinking a glass of whiskey in the afternoon in her lingerie, because that's what you do. Color-wise, I wanted to sort of play on that tone of the whiskey, that kind of golden tone, and I wanted it to feel like this warm afternoon light. And so lighting-wise, I actually gelled both of my lights to get that really nice, warm, sunlit look. So I would actually call this a monochromatic color scheme. We really just have the color ranging from like a light beige to the nice saturated skin tones, which are a bit more of this golden orange color, and then we desaturate and reduce our luminosity a bit more for the table and the background. But ultimately, we're kind of within the same sort of one hue tonal range here. We've just got some variation on the luminosity. This image is from a fashion editorial I shot up in the Pacific Northwest, and we had this beautiful farm we were shooting on, and this designer had some really great clothes, nice earthen color, so we wanted to sort of play around with that. Color scheme wise here, we've got this beautiful plum jumpsuit that our model is in, and because we were shooting on the farm, there was a lot of greenery. We were in the middle of summer, so a lot of this lush, beautiful color. And we also have this really nice golden glow to her skin tone, and skin tones are pretty often perceived by us as somewhere in the orange range. So we've actually got our secondary triadic color scheme here with the orange, the green, and the purple. So here we've got a conceptual piece that I shot fairly recently. This is this kind of weird dinner party scene where we've just got our one guest left, or maybe she's our host, and everyone's plates are kind of unfinished, but we don't know where everyone is. Color-wise, I knew I wanted it to look like it was nighttime, so we used a CTB gel on our light outside to make it look like we have this cool moonlight glow. And to contrast that, we've got the orangey tones in the spaghetti, we've got the orange of the kitchen cabinets, and I wanted to throw her in this orange dress, which makes her kind of pop off of screen, but it also is a nice complement to our blue. So this is our complementary color scheme of orange and blue. So this is actually a composite piece that I did and wanted to kind of play around with these badass girls with a can of gasoline, smoking cigarettes, playing with fire at a gas station. So as far as the color scheme goes, for this image, we've got our triadic primary color scheme. Again, we have blue in the night sky in the background as our kind of general atmosphere. We have the yellow lights and accents in the gas station. And we've also got some red accents in the fire extinguisher and the bucket and the railing of the gas station. And we've also brought in some additional red in the styling with the red jacket and the red gas can. This is an image that I shot in Chicago, and it actually was kind of a fortuitous image. We were shooting in an architectural salvage place, and when I walked in the door, I saw this really amazing kind of Art Deco art piece hanging on the wall. And then when we were going through our model's clothing, I found this really amazing suit, and I figured, I had to shoot it against her. It was kind of perfect. Color-wise, this is an interesting one to me, and people have kind of interpreted this in different ways. I think some people would call it complementary, and they're seeing kind of these red tones in the background against the green of the suit. But I see a little bit more of a range in color. I'm also picking up oranges and yellows. And so to me, I might even call this an analogous color scheme, but it's really analogous covering half of the wheel. But again, there's kind of this nice gradient of colors. So that's kind of what I would call this. But again, it's an interesting image because I think it shows how we can sort of perceive different color harmonies differently as individuals. Pink is the color most associated with sweet foods and beverages. Pink is also one of the few colors to be strongly associated with a particular aroma, that of roses. Cultural and psychological associations with the color pink are a more recent phenomenon. Allusions to its representation of commitment date to the Middle Ages. Around the same time, pink began to also become associated with youth, innocence, and tenderness. The darker and more saturated the pink, the more it represented romance and seduction. The lighter, more pastel variations were more representative of innocence. Though pink was a color favored by both males and females, in the 1940s, pink started to become the champion color of the woman. As such, pink developed associations with charm, politeness, sensitivity, and tenderness,